Hey, this is Jen again. I'm so glad you decided to grab my free video. So here's the bow that I'm going to show you how to make. I love this because it has a lot of layers and it's really fun and simple. So you can go ahead now and this is the 10-minute video that's going to show you how to make this bow from start to finish. Now after you're done, I want you to check out my full course. Now this is my most popular course showing you how to make awesome hair bows. So if you're a beginner, you're going to want to check this out. And if you buy today on this page, I'm also going to pay for your shipping. So your shipping is going to be totally free. I'm going to cover that for you, and you can get a great deal on my full DVD course. Here's an easy layered bow that I just love. We're going to go ahead and make this now. We have 3 bows in our center, bottom, middle, and then a small one on top, and then 2 layers of our loops. So to start off, we're going to make this bottom bow. This is very simple to make. And I've showed you how to do this one before, but I'll show you again. All we need to do is determine how wide we want the bow to be. I'm going to make this a 5-inch bow, so I need 10 inches of ribbon. Okay. So we need 2 pieces that are 10 inches long, and we're just going to loop these around. Just a little bit of hot glue along the end. Bring our loops around. Do the exact same thing to this one. Just loop it around. Okay, now we need just a small piece of either our craft wire or thread, whatever you prefer to work with. I'm going to pinch that down. Remember, I like to keep the seam at the back there. And then we're going to make our pinches. 1, 2, and then 3. You can just do 2, that's fine too. Right in the center there, make our pinches. Now we're going to do this again with this other piece. Make our pinches. Fold it right up against the center of the other one and make our pinches. Okay, so as you can see, our bow is forming. Now we're going to take it and wrap it really tightly with either craft wire or thread. You're going to make sure that you wrap it right in the center so that our bow is even. There we go, just cut off the extra wire in the back. And then you could just play around with this and make sure that it looks good. It's going to be on our bottom layer. Oops. And then just make sure this is really tight as soon as you're done adjusting. That bow is all done, our base bow. Now we want to make the next layer. What I like to do is you can either use a piece of cardboard or just your fingers across here, because this bow is going to go right on top. I'm just going to start and we're going to just wrap this around. Okay? Bring it over here and back. Just wrapping it around 2 times until I get over to back to my left side and cut it off. Oops, doesn't have to be straight, that's fine. Now we need a straight pin. Just gonna take that off my hand, put a straight pin exactly down in the center of this bow. Of our loops here, so just find the center. You could actually just fold it up, that's easiest, and then you have your center right there. Now if you're working on the couch, you can just put this in a pillow, or I have a tablecloth here that I'm using. And then we just want to separate these. Okay, see how we just separate them like that. Once we have that X formed and we have our layers separated, you can pick it up, and what I like to do is actually use a hairdresser's clip just to hold that in place, because we're going to sew now. Okay, and then just adjust that however you want. Okay, now I'm just getting my needle ready. What I did is just thread it through. I like to bring both of the ends up so that they're the same length, and then make a knot, and then you could cut off any excess. That just helps it to stay. Okay, so now I'm just going to sew this through the center. It's going to go up and down about 3 times. Right straight across there. See? This is nice to use the clip because then it really helps you to stay in place. So just need to make 3 stitches there. We can then remove this, pull tightly. You can see your bow is forming, and then just wrap this center. Make sure that your loops don't pull as you're doing this. And then of course just tie off the thread here. Okay. Cut off the excess thread, and this bow is ready to go. Now on this one, I really don't like the tails, so I go ahead and cut them off. You could keep them if you want, but when I'm making layered bows, I don't like those tails. All right, now this one is all ready to go. That's gonna go just right on top of there. All right, and now we need to make our loops. This, I'm just gonna show you this top bow here. I'm making exactly the same as the bottom bow. So you can go ahead and do that the same way as the bottom bow. We need to make our loops. I have 2 different kinds of loops. So we're gonna start with the outer loop. Just make some space here. We work with the back of the bow. And all you need to do, just make your first loop and decide how big you want it, okay? So if I want to loop about that big, I just mark that off. You could either just put a mark there on the ribbon, or I just like to, as I have it in my hand, just put a little glue there and hold it in place. Okay, so now all of our loops are going to be this same size. So I'm working with the ribbon on the roll. I'm just going to bring this ribbon around to make another loop. Actually, I did this on the wrong side. You want it to be this way. Okay. There we go. See how the ribbon just kind of falls in place there? So we're going to go ahead and make this. Make sure they are the same. Put a dab of glue down there to hold in place. Now again, your ribbon just kind of follows around. Just make a bottom loop there. And they are the same. Every time you come to the center, make sure that you're at a 90-degree angle. So you want these to be very nice loops. And then the fourth loop, just bring that right around back to the center and make sure it's the same size. If it's not, adjust it just a bit before you glue it down. Okay? And a bit of glue, and then we could cut this off. All right. Now we have our first loops done. Okay, and that's just going to sit right in there. Now we want to make our second loops. Now this is a lot of fun. You can actually keep making as many as you'd like. We're going to take our ribbon and just follow along the exact same way that we made the first ones. And you could do this with as many as you want. Okay, you want to make sure this is a 90-degree angle. Loop this around. Want to leave just a little bit of room there. And then glue it. You see what I'm doing? Just following this ribbon around. So from the top left to the top right. The ribbon will usually go in the right place for you. Now it's coming down to the bottom left. See that? You can add as many of these layered loops as you want. Just makes for a really full and nice bow. Okay, my final one is done. So just cut that off and you have your loops all set to go. Okay, and here are the loops again. I decided just to add one more layer, so I have 3 layers of loops there. And now we are ready to attach our bow. So to put our bow together, we want to start with the loops on the bottom, and then we want to get our base bow here. You can glue these together, of course, or you can go ahead and sew them, whatever you prefer. Again, if you're selling them, I would sew instead of gluing, but it's really your choice. Fluff out those those loops however you want. There you go. Now we'll add the next layer. Just a nice dab of hot glue in the center. Bring it right down to the exact center and hold in place. Just fluffing up my loops as I go to make this really pretty. And then again, I just made a little bow for the center here the exact same way that I made the base bow. Just a really easy and fun bow to make. Add another layer there. And now for the centerpiece here, I actually have a little paw print that I thought would be cute with this other ribbon here, the paw print. And this is just an iron-on piece, so you can get iron-on pieces, and I think they look really cute on bows. I just think that's so adorable. So this is our completed bow. All the layers are put together. Just let it dry just for a bit, and you're all set.